So far, we've seen how ISIS ravaged the Yazidis. As in ancient days, it meant death for the men and slavery for the women. We've also seen how these attacks were only one small part of the devastation ISIS has delivered to those in its path. The world wasn't fast enough to save the Yazidis from barbarous cruelty, and soon the question would become, would it be able to turn back ISIS at all? And if it were to be done, who would lead? ISIS had little trouble slashing through northern Iraq in 2014. But late in the year, there was a counterattack. It came from the Kurds, the Middle Eastern ethnic minority who are concentrated in the area. Their fighting force, the Peshmerga, backed by international airstrikes, succeeded in opening up a corridor to Mount Sinjar, where thousands of Yazidis were trapped. Our reporter Benjamin Hall was there when the Peshmerga faced a renewed offensive by ISIS. At the time, the village of Kocho was controlled by ISIS and completely inaccessible. But there was plenty of action around the nearby Yazidi ancestral capital of Sinjar city.
We've just heard that ISIS have attacked the emplacement where we were up just an hour ago. It's right up on the front lines in Sinjar city, about 700 meters from here. Sounds as if one man has lost a leg and an arm, and I'm just not sure he's going to make it.
The shooting that you hear in the background is gunfire that's being exchanged between us and them.
I spoke to General Bahram Arif Yassin, commander of the Peshmerga 7th Infantry.
The fight is currently going on inside Sinjar city.
Yassin wishes his fighters were better equipped.
The weapon that we have received have been old weapons, like Kalashnikov, and totally not new weapons. What we need is modern weapons like mortars, Cobra helicopters, and armored vehicles.
He worries his forces are outgunned by ISIS, which has been armed inadvertently by the US.
Most of the American weapons that were given to Iraqi armies fell into ISIS hands, and they have all modern and advanced weapons, like Humvees and armored vehicles.
Peshmerga we spoke to were bitter about how they were paying for the cowardice of the Iraqi forces.
Iraqi army, they threw them weapons. Right now, the ISIS, they have that weapons. They bring some rocket and mortar ammunition, they capture, and the Iraqi army, they run away.
Meanwhile, others are running toward the battle.
Gunfire? Whether it's incoming or outgoing, I couldn't tell you at this time.
Patrick, a 37-year-old American, doesn't want us to use his full name. He is one of a handful of American and European adventure seekers who have joined the Peshmerga to fight ISIS.
A lot of RPGs, a lot. Like, I don't know how many they have, but it's an endless barrage. Mortars, they shake the earth, man.
While I was there, the two sides were having a standoff just outside Sinjar city. The forces are separated by just 150 feet. Patrick, who served in the US Army in Iraq as a cavalry scout, has pulled sniper duty to protect the checkpoints set out by the Kurds.
Been in a sniper's nest. It's relentless from them. ISIS are like rats. They tunnel through buildings, you know? It's heavy fighting.
The battle for Sinjar is about more than restoring the Yazidis to their ancestral home. It's also about dealing a powerful blow against the ability of ISIS to continue its campaign, according to General Yassin.
They earn great financial benefits through the oil that they transit via this route. This is one of the main roads which connects Mosul to Syria, which is why they don't want to lose Sinjar.
Indeed, the Peshmerga see themselves as fighting a war not just for their own part of Iraq, but to help rid the world of the scourge of ISIS. They believe they'll need more support.
No support. That's shocking, isn't it? It doesn't make sense.
When I was there, the Peshmerga were barely able to hold their own. They're now attacking en masse, and we've decided to pull out. You know, anyone who thinks that ISIS are being pushed back or on the defensive in this whole conflict need only come to a front line like this to realize that, in fact, much more is needed to defeat them. And until they get the weapons and the support that they desperately need and ask for, well, it's going to be a long and drawn-out fight.
That's Benjamin Hall in northern Iraq. When we come back, the fight in Washington over how best to deal with ISIS.